We have attained a quorum consisting of Vice Chair Councilman Squilla, Councilman Heenan, Councilman Taubenberger, and Councilwoman Keone Sanchez. For the record, there are 4 bills that will be held to the call of the chair. It's bill numbers 180973, dealing with Point Breeze, 180905, it's an area around Powelton involving University of Pennsylvania, and 2 in the 7th Councilmanic District, bill number 180977 and 181003. All those bills will be held to the call of the chair at the request of the individual sponsors. And with that, Ms. Marconi, will you please read the title of the first bill before us today?
Bill number 180911, an ordinance amending Title 14 of the Philadelphia Code entitled Zoning and Planning by amending Section 14-502 entitled CTR Center City Overlay by modifying the boundaries of the Market Street East retail area, providing additional regulations and making related changes, all under certain terms and conditions.
Good morning, Councilman Greenlee, members of the Rules Committee. I'm Marty Gregorski, Division Director with the Development Division at the Philadelphia City Planning Commission, and I'm here to testify on Bill number 180911, which was introduced in the City Council on October 18th by Councilmember Squilla. Bill number 180911 amends Section 14-904 of the Philadelphia Code entitled Accessory Sign Controls to provide for new sign controls in the area bounded by Market Street, 11th Street, Chestnut Street, and 12th Street. The bill is intended to allow second-story retail tenants in this area to have mounted blade signs. In coordination with the council member's office and the developers in East Market, the staff of the Planning Commission recommended changes in the original draft, which was bill number 180842, mostly technical in nature and intended more to match the provisions in the code for second-story signage in the Fashion District. The Philadelphia City Planning Commission considered bill number 180842 at its meeting of October 16th of this year, where it recommended that these changes negotiated be adopted as amendments, and bill number 180911 reflects those amendments. So at its meeting of November 27th of this year, the Philadelphia City Planning Commission recommended approval for bill number 180911 as an item in accord with previous policy, and I'd be happy to answer any questions.
Okay, thank you. The Fashion District, I like that.
Fashion District.
Any questions for Mr. Gregorski on this bill? Seeing none, anyone else here to testify on bill number 180911? Seeing none, and again, that amendment will be offered at the meeting. Ms. Marconi, our next bill, please.
Bill number 180948, an ordinance to amend the Philadelphia zoning maps by changing the zoning designations of certain areas of land located within an area bounded by Flamingo Street, Lawn Street, Esdale Street, Shaw Street, and Hillside Avenue.
Okay.
Good morning, Chairman Greenlee, members of the Rules Committee. I'm Marty Gregorski with the Planning Commission. Bill number 180948 amends the Philadelphia zoning maps by remapping an area bounded by Flamingo, Lawn Street, Edsel Street, Shaw Street, and Hillside Avenue. The bill is intended as corrective to remap a single-family block from RMX1 residential mixed-use to RSA2 residential single-family attached. The RMX1 zone is a vacant remainder parcel from an apartment complex that was constructed in the 2000s. This remapping will enable the construction of a 3-story, 3-unit single-family development. The Lower Northwest District Plan recommends removing the RMX1 remainder and remapping this single-family residential district. The Philadelphia City Planning Commission considered bill number 180948 at its meeting of November 27th of this year and recommended it for approval, and I'd be happy to answer any questions.
Thank you, and it looks like the amendment is just a misspelling.
A misspelling,
right?
yes.
Okay. Any questions for Mr. Gregorski on this bill? Seeing none. Anyone else here to testify on bill number 180948? Seeing none, thank you. Ms. Marconi, our next bill, please.
Bill number 180954, an ordinance amending Title 14 of the Philadelphia Code entitled Zoning and Planning to revise certain provisions of Chapter 14-900 entitled Signs by amending the commercial mixed-use sign allowance, all under certain terms and conditions.
Thank you.
Good morning, I'm Marty Gregorski with the Philadelphia Planning Commission. I'm here to testify on bill number 180954, which was introduced in the City Council on October 25th of this year by Council members Green, Heenan, Taubenberger, Keone Sanchez, and Johnson. Bill number 180954 amends the Philadelphia zoning code by amending the commercial mixed-use sign allowance. This is done by creating an alternative sign calculation for the CMX2 and CMX 2.5 commercial mixed-use zoning districts that allows for applicants to receive a permit for a simple flat wall sign. The current language requires a calculation of how much signage is allowed based on the size of the property and its location on the block. While this will remain, a slightly smaller sign that meets the new requirements will be permitted to simplify the application process. This is done to help the business community to implement adequate signage that meets the regulations of the zoning code. The Commerce Department, License and Inspections, City Planning, and City Council work to come up with this legislation in hopes that more legal and appropriate signage will be developed along our commercial corridors. The Philadelphia City Planning Commission considered Bill number 180954 at its meeting of November 27th of this year and recommended it for approval. I'd be happy to answer any questions.
Thank you. Looks like everybody working together. We'd like to see that. Okay, thank you. Any questions on this bill? Seeing none, anyone else here to testify on Bill number 180954? And seeing none, thank you. Ms. Marconi, your next bill, please.
Bill number 180966, an ordinance to amend the Philadelphia zoning maps by changing the zoning designations of certain areas of land located within an area bounded by Parkside Avenue, 42nd Street, Girard Avenue, and Belmont Avenue.
Mr. Gregorski, thank you.
Good morning, Chairman Greeley, members of the Rules Committee, Marty Gregorski with the Planning Commission. I'm here to testify on Bill number 180966, which was introduced in the City Council on November 1st of this year by Councilmember Blackwell. This bill amends the Philadelphia zoning maps within the area bounded by Parkside Avenue, 42nd Street, Girard Avenue, and Belmont Avenue. This bill proposes to change the existing zoning designation of CMX2, commercial mixed use, to CMX3, community commercial mixed use, for an existing charter school's proposed expansion, as well as making other minor corrective changes along Belmont Avenue. The Philadelphia City Planning Commission considered Bill number 180966 at its meeting of November 27th of this year and recommended it for approval. I'd be happy to answer any questions.
Thank you. That's the school of the future, I think?
It is.
That? Yeah, right. Okay. Any questions for Mr. Gregorski on this bill? Seeing none. Anyone else here to testify on Bill number 180966? Seeing none. Thank you. Ms. Marconi, our next bill, please.
Bill number 180970, an ordinance to amend the Philadelphia zoning maps by changing zoning designations of certain areas of land located within an area bounded by the Delaware Expressway, Tolbert Street Extended, Torresdale Avenue, and Pennypack Street Extended.
Thank you.
Good morning. I'm Marty Gregorski with the Planning Commission. I'm here to testify on Bill number 180970, which was introduced in the City Council on November 1st of this year by Councilmember Heenan. This bill will amend the zoning designations of certain parcels of land located within an area bounded by Delaware Expressway, Tolbert Street Extended, Torresdale Avenue, and Pennypack Street Extended. This bill proposes to remap a block of industrial uses from I-2, medium industrial, to ICMX, industrial commercial mixed use. The Philadelphia City Planning Commission considered Bill number 180970 at its meeting of November 27th of this year and recommended it for approval. I'd be happy to answer any questions.
Okay. Sounds nice and easy. Any questions on this bill? Seeing none. Anyone else here to testify on Bill number 180970? Seeing none. Ms. Marconi, our next bill, please.
Bill number 180971, an ordinance to amend the Philadelphia zoning maps by changing the zoning designations of certain areas of land located within an area bounded by Roosevelt Boulevard, Henry Avenue, Railroad right-of-way, and Scotts Lane.
Good morning. I'm Marty Gregorski with the Planning Commission. I'm here to testify on Bill number 180971, which was introduced in the City Council on November 1st of this year by Councilmember Jones. Bill number 180971 amends the Philadelphia zoning maps in the area described. This bill rezones part of the East Falls Paradise neighborhood in the North Planning District of Philadelphia. This bill is intended to support a proposed multifamily residential development along Scotts Lane. The North District Plan discourages residential uses along Scotts Lane due to the poor condition and limited capacity of the street. However, an access easement through a neighboring property to a traffic signal at Henry Avenue adequately addresses the concern as outlined in the plan. The Philadelphia City Planning Commission considered Bill number 180971 at its meeting of November 27th of this year and recommended it for approval, and I'd be happy to answer any questions.
Thank you, Mr. Gregorski. I think we have two amendments on this. One is changing the map, making changes
Map
in
changes, and then the EOP.
And then we have an executed equal opportunity plan, correct? Yes. So both of those are attached and will be offered at the meeting. Any questions for Mr. Gregorski on this bill? Seeing none, anyone else here to testify on Bill number 180971? Seeing none, Ms. Marconi, our next bill, please.
Bill number 180979, an ordinance amending Title 14 of the Philadelphia Code entitled Zoning and Planning by amending Section 14-600 entitled Market Street East Sign Regulations, all under certain terms and conditions.
Mr. Gregorski, before you testify, I just want to put on the record there is a letter from the Philadelphia Chinatown Development Corporation, saying they are not opposed to this bill. Mr. Gregorski, please.
Marty Gregorski with the Philadelphia City Planning Commission. I'm here to testify on Bill Number 180979, which was introduced in the City Council on November 1st of this year by Councilmember Squilla. Now, Bill Number 180979 amends Title 14 of the Philadelphia Code entitled Zoning and Planning by amending Section 14-906 entitled Market Street East Sign Regulations, all under certain terms and conditions. Purposes of the bill is to allow for digital advertising signs to be placed on the north-facing sides of the Fashion District, the former gallery, pedestrian bridges over 9th and 10th Street. Currently, digital advertising signs are not allowed more than 100 feet from the lot line on Market Street. This bill makes exceptions only for the two bridges. The Planning Commission believes that such provisions may set a bad precedent by carving out a provision for two specific bridges over public rights-of-way and outside of the zone where digital advertising signs are currently located. The City Planning Commission at its meeting of November 27, 2018, did not recommend Bill Number 180979 for approval, and I'd be happy to answer any questions.
Thank you. Any questions for Mr. Gregorski on this bill? Seeing none, anyone else here testify on Bill Number 180979? Seeing none, please let the record reflect Councilwoman Bass, member of the committee, is present. No other testimony on this bill. Ms. Marconi, our next bill, please.
Bill number 181005, an ordinance to amend the Philadelphia zoning maps by changing the zoning designations of certain areas of land located within an area bounded by Roosevelt Boulevard, 3rd Street, Hunting Park Avenue, 2nd Street, Sedgley Avenue, Ontario Street, Hutchinson Street, 9th Street, and Wingo-Hocking Street.
Good morning. I'm Marty Gregorski with the Philadelphia City Planning Commission. I'm here to testify on Bill Number 181005, which was introduced in the City Council on November 15th of this year by Councilmember Keona Sanchez. Bill Number 181 amends the Philadelphia zoning maps in the area described. The bill is intended for corrective remapping purposes and advancement of the goals and recommendation of the North District Plan, specifically to attract denser development and to strong commercial blocks, to encourage transition to ground floor residential uses on commercial blocks with chronic vacancy, to preserve existing single-family housing stock, to maintain multifamily zoning along bus routes, major arterials, on park peripheries, and in areas with large concentrations of vacant land, to match zoning for existing corner stores, to match zoning for existing open space, to create low-intensity buffers between residential and industrial uses, and transition areas of high industrial vacancy to new uses. Philadelphia City Planning Commission considered Bill Number 181005 at its meeting of November 27th of this year and recommended it for approval, and I'd be happy to answer any questions.
And again, we have an amendment, I guess, just changing the map.
Changes
Making
the
a
map,
little,
correct.
change of the map. Chair recognizes sponsor of the bill, Councilwoman Keona Sanchez.
Thank you, Mr. Chair, for an opportunity. Just to weigh in, I want to thank the Planning Commission. The goal in our councilmatic district has been to try to remap and be very intentional in allowing predictable development and investment in the community. And I want to thank the Hunting Park NAC, Nueva Esperanza, and all of the stakeholders who participated in this process. Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Thank you, Councilwoman. Any other questions or comments? Anyone else here to testify on Bill Number 181005? Seeing none. Ms. Marconi, our final bill today.
Bill number 180893, an ordinance continuing the Aramingo Avenue Shopping District beyond its termination date in an area that generally includes the east and west sides of the Aramingo Avenue from 3300 Aramingo Avenue to 3995 Aramingo Avenue, and certain blocks and streets that intersect that portion of Aramingo Avenue, and for which Impact Community Development Corporation, a Pennsylvania nonprofit corporation, serves as the Neighborhood Improvement District Management Association. Approving a final plan for the district, including a list of proposed improvements and their estimated costs, and providing for assessment fees to be levied on property owners within the district, authorizing the Director of Commerce on behalf of the city to execute an agreement with Impact Community Development Corporation relating to the district, and authorizing Impact Community Development Corporation to assess property owners within the district a special property assessment fee to be used in accordance with the approved plan, all in accordance with the provisions of the Community and Economic Improvement Act and under certain terms and conditions.
Thank you. Mr. Murphy?
Good morning, Chairman Greenlee and members of City Council. My name is Dennis Murphy, Director of Corridor Development within the Commerce Department. I am here in support of Bill number 180893, reauthorizing the Aramingo Shopping District. In 2008, property owners and business people with support from Impact Services created a business improvement district to pay for supplemental services to serve the shopping area centered at Aramingo and Castor Avenues. Bid assessments fund litter removal, security ambassadors who patrol the district and coordinate with the police, and other activities. The district includes big box retail as well as strip mall type shopping centers, all owned and managed by a variety of owners, many of whom are out of state. The bid plays a critical role by allowing owners to cooperatively pay for services that ensure a basic level of cleanliness and safety throughout the district. As the entity that manages the bid, Impact has created strong ongoing partnerships with the police and with local store managers. The bid's new 5-year plan builds upon the core clean and safe services with an increased portion of funding devoted to supplemental security to address challenges that are currently confronting the district's businesses and neighboring residents due to the opioid crisis. Since the bid was founded, the district has seen substantial new development, and the bid has been instrumental in supporting this growth. The bid is critical to addressing the current challenges faced within the Aramingo district, and it's critical to the future of the district that the bid continue so it can continue to grow and remain competitive. The efforts of the bid and their partners are important and deserve the support of the city. Thank you for your consideration. I'll be happy to answer any questions.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Murphy. Before we hear from Mr. O'Donnell, any questions for Mr. Murphy? Okay, seeing none. Mr. O'Donnell, we have your written testimony, so that the whole testimony will be made part of the record. If you could summarize your statement, we'd appreciate it. Okay?
Bet. And good morning, Chairman Greenlee and members of the Rules Committee. My name is Casey O'Donnell. I'm the CEO of Impact Services, a community development corporation located at 1952 East Allegheny in the heart of Kensington. In 2017, Impact published a comprehensive neighborhood plan that includes bricks and mortar development. It includes partnership with all stakeholders in the area, and probably most important, it focuses on keeping the neighborhood clean and safe. So the Aramingo bid is an essential part of this strategy. We have pivoted over the last year and shaped the next 5-year plan to focus on trends in the neighborhood. So as you know, there are challenges in Kensington that affect the surrounding neighborhoods, affect Port Richmond, and affect commerce and prosperity on the Aramingo corridor. We have changed security to be 7 days a week. We have communication mechanisms that are real-time apps so that managers and owners and stakeholders can provide us information so we can respond accordingly. We also have four full-time cleaning stewards on the corridor that clean all day. Short dumping, as you know, has been an increased problem, and even though the city's doing a great job, we've actually ramped up our short dumping responses, so this is part of the plan for the next 5 years as well. Additionally, we are going to help reshape the board of the bid to include owners. We've gotten some responses over the last year and worked with owners over the summer to shape what security resources are going to look like. They asked for people over the weekend, evenings. We've responded accordingly, and that 5-year plan is now going to incorporate owners that have been active over the summer. So we're looking forward to ongoing partnership with those owners, businesses, and stakeholders in the area. Thank you for everybody for hearing us out.
Okay, thank you, Mr. O'Donnell. Chair recognizes Councilor Squilla.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman, and thank you, Casey and Rolando, for your work on this. We much appreciated as we go through, and also with Dennis with Commerce, how important these bids are to the surrounding community. So thank you for all your work on this.
It sounds like you're working hard up there. Any other questions for either of these witnesses? Anyone else here to testify on bill number 180893? Seeing none. Okay, that completes our calendar. Councilwoman Sanchez, you wanted to make a statement on another bill?
Yes, I'm sorry.
Okay, that's all right.
Thank you. If Marty can come back to the stand. I had proposed Bill 180977 that was looking to kind of spot zone an area of my district that I inherited
You're admitting to that?
I am admitting
I
to
gotta
it,
say.
where I inherited 3 prisons and specialized services needs. And one of the, and of course, the Planning Commission didn't even deliberate on the bill, it just said no to it. No one likes spot zoning. But the Planning Commission's role is to plan and plan ahead. And so I wanted to ask, what role has the Planning Commission played in looking at these unique services and how they get placed in communities, particularly poor communities of color?
We have been on various different committees and a number of different task forces about this, usually at a higher level than where I sit. To my knowledge, I'm not aware that we have maps that pertain to all of these different uses and where they are. It's not something that I know that we are tracking, but I'm not a computer guy. But I can talk to our people to see, more specifically what we're doing. But most of those discussions have been at a higher level than where I sit.
So I'd like to formally request that the Planning Commission put forth a comprehensive map of the locations of all these unique services throughout the city, and request that the department submit to you who we're contracting for these services for the entire city. As we deal with special needs, whether it's prison, recovery services, or other things, these are citywide problems, and they should not further hamper particular communities of color, or because we have industrial vacant land. I'd like to see a more proactive policy around how we locate these unique services, and data should drive that, right? And locating, and obviously we're going to look at transportation and the uniqueness of access. But if the Planning Commission could submit that instead of a no, they could give us the how. It would be greatly appreciated, and submit that to the chair. I'm sure all my district council colleagues would like to see the impact of these services in their district.
Okay, I'll take it back to.
Thank you, Marty.
Thank you. Okay, that completes the hearing for the Rules Committee, and the meeting will commence in just a few seconds. Please let the record reflect Councilman Johnson, member of the committee, is present. Thank you. All right, we are now in the meeting of the Rules Committee, and the chair recognizes Councilman Squilla for motion on amendments, please.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I'd like to move the amendments on bill numbers 180911, 180948, 180971, and 181005.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded on approval of the amendments. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Hearing none, the amendments as read by Councilman Squilla are approved. Again, chair recognizes Councilman Squilla.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I'd like to move bill number 180911 as amended, bill number 180948 as amended, bill number 180954, bill number 180966, bill number 180970, bill number 180971 as amended, bill number 180979, bill number 181005 as amended, and bill number 180893 with suspension of rules to be read at the first council session.
It's been moved and seconded. On the motion, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Hearing none, the bills as read by Councilman Squilla with the appropriate amendments are reported as committee favorably with a rule suspension. That concludes the Rules Committee for today. Thank you all very much.